Elias grew up hearing scary stories about his hometown, a small village isolated among the mountains, where the nights were darker and the winds seemed to whisper forgotten names. The legend that intrigued him the most was that of the 9 Fingers, a creature that, according to the elders, marked its victims with 9 touches before taking them. If you felt 9 touches before sleeping, it meant you had been chosen. But that was just superstition, Elias thought. He grew up, moved to the big city, and left the past behind, until the day he received the news of his grandfather's death. When he returned to the village to take care of the funeral, Elias was overcome by a strange feeling. His grandfather's house remained practically untouched. The windows were dusty, the ceiling creaked, the attic locked as always. While organizing his belongings, he found a leather-bound notebook hidden under a loose floorboard. The pages were filled with obsessive notes, dates, names of villagers, and drawings of a deformed hand, with only 9 fingers. On the first night, while trying to sleep in the old room where he had spent his childhood, the lights flickered until they went out completely. A cold wind came in through the half-open window, and Elias felt a strange pressure against his leg. 9 touches, exactly. He laughed nervously, thinking it was the result of suggestion and fatigue. The next day, he looked for old Juan, his grandfather's longtime friend. When Elias showed him the notebook, the old man turned pale. "Your grandfather tried to hunt down Nono and paid the price. The mark was on him. Now it could be on you." Elias tried to ignore it, but something inside him told him there was more than madness in that story. Intrigued, he investigated the village records and cross-referenced the names written in the diary with old files. To his surprise, many of the unsolved disappearances coincided with the dates in the notebook. Worse still, the accounts of these residents included mentions of the 9 knocks. On the second night, Elias woke up with a shiver. He felt the 9 knocks again, this time on his chest. It was as if icy fingers were pressing down on him, one by one, in absolute silence. With his heart racing, he decided to explore the attic in the morning. He picked the old lock and found a box locked under moldy cloths. Inside were bones, black candles, and a grotesque medallion made of nails and teeth sewn together with thick thread. When he touched it, Elias was overcome by a brutal vision. A slender creature with a misshapen face and hollow eyes, scratching trees and crawling through the woods. Its hands had only 9 fingers, long, twisted, sharp. On the final pages of the diary, it was written, "It marks with 9 knocks. On the 10th, it rips out your soul." Elias tried to leave the village that same afternoon, but the main road was blocked by a landslide. He was trapped, and he felt that something, or someone, was constantly watching him, from a distance between the trees or outside the window. On the 3rd night, he decided to return to the old chapel in the village, now completely abandoned. On the broken altar, he found inscriptions engraved in dried blood. "He who awakens the 9th becomes the 10th. Below the pulpit, there was a crypt. Upon entering, he saw inhuman footprints scattered and scratches all over the walls. There he knew that the creature was not just a story, it was alive. The next morning, he installed cameras throughout the house. When he reviewed the images, he froze in fear. Around 3 a.m., a figure entered through the window, walked slowly to his bed, and stood there for minutes. It was tall, thin, hunched over, with elongated fingers. 9 of them. Its face was gone, only stretched and vibrating skin, as if something was pulsing inside. On the last night, Elias woke up breathless. The creature was beside him. It was not attacking, it was just watching him. Slowly, he reached out and pressed his neck. In the mirror, Elias saw A new mark had appeared. The 10th touch. Desperate, he sought out old João again, who revealed the truth. His grandfather had been marked, but before being taken, he performed a forbidden ritual that transferred the mark to someone of his blood. Elias was the heir to the curse. The only way to escape would be to pass the mark on. Someone would have to touch the medallion voluntarily. Elias hesitated. He could not condemn another innocent man. Instead, he decided to face evil. He returned to the chapel, threw the medallion on the altar, and set it ablaze with oil and old matches. The temple shook, the flames danced in distorted shapes, and the creature emerged from the darkness, roaring. A sound that was not human echoed throughout the village. The next day, Elias's house was in flames. His body was never found. Only a stone remained among the rubble, with the drawing of a 9-fingered hand, and another, human, holding it. Today, the villagers avoid passing by that path. But for the more curious who touch the stone, one thing is certain. If they feel 9 taps when they go to bed that night, it's already too late. If you think you're safe, think again. Here, every story leaves a mark, and some never disappear. Sign up now before the 9 fingers choose you as the next one.